Hello Lakers fan, if you are one of those who are always up to date with the news about our Lakers, then you need to stay tuned to what is coming up on our Lakers news channel. I am preparing exclusive coverage on the possible signings of Lakers, and what I can tell you is that rumors are catching fire on social media, and if you don't want to miss any information, stay tuned. We have exclusive news every day. If you are a true Lakers and don't want to be left out of the news, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go to the video.
Lakers shine a light on Bronny James' growth with inspiring social media post. As Bronny James enters his second year in the NBA, the young guard is gearing up to fight for a real spot in the Los Angeles Lakers rotation. And this time, the spotlight is shining just a little brighter. Drafted in the second round last season, Bronny spent most of his rookie year developing his game with the South Bay Lakers in the G League. It was a humbling but necessary chapter, giving him the space to make mistakes, learn the pace of the pro game, and slowly find his rhythm without the constant pressure of the NBA stage. Now with a new season on the horizon, Bronny is back, more focused, more confident, and more determined to prove that he belongs on the court for reasons that go far beyond his last name. The Lakers seem to believe in his potential too. They recently shared a lighthearted behind-the-scenes video of Bronny trying his hand at golf, a hobby he picked up just 4 months ago when last season ended. To the surprise of many, his swing looks good. Surprisingly good. Maybe even better than LeBron's, something fans were quick to point out with a bit of playful teasing. More than the swing though, the video gave fans a glimpse of Bronny's personality, relaxed, approachable, and clearly enjoying himself. It's a side of him the public hasn't seen much of yet, largely because he hasn't had the minutes to truly show who he is on the NBA floor. But if he gets more playing time this season, we might finally start to see that charisma carry over onto the court. What will it take for Bronny to earn a rotation spot? The Lakers coaching staff is hoping Bronny's growth over the summer translates to meaningful minutes. Defensively, he already brings solid instincts and energy, two things every guard needs to survive against the league's elite. But it's on the offensive end where he'll need to take the next step. Ball handling and scoring consistency have been key focuses during his off-season training. The coaching staff wants to see him become more assertive, more comfortable creating his own shot, and more capable of keeping up with the NBA's speed on both ends of the court. In limited action last season, Bronny averaged just 2.3 points, 0.7 rebounds, and 0.8 assists per game, shooting 31.3% from the field and 28.1% from beyond the arc. Modest numbers, but not unexpected for a rookie adjusting to the world's toughest basketball league. This year, though, the expectations are different. Not because he's LeBron's son, but because he's shown flashes of real growth, and the Lakers want to see if that can translate into a real role. Beyond the hype, a young player finding his own way. For Bronny, this season isn't about fame or attention, he was born into that. It's about carving out a space of his own, earning respect from his teammates, and showing the league that he has more than just a legacy to live up to, he has a future to build. And if the early signs are any indication, he's well on his way. A father-son dynamic unlike any other. One of the most unique aspects of Bronny's journey, and a storyline the entire basketball world is watching closely, is the dynamic of sharing the court with his father, LeBron James. No father and son have ever played together in an NBA game, let alone as teammates on the same roster. While many expected this to be little more than a symbolic moment, the Lakers have made it clear, Bronny will have to earn his spot. This isn't charity, it's competition. Behind the scenes, LeBron has remained supportive but careful not to overshadow his son's development. According to team insiders, he's allowed Bronny to find his own voice within the team, stepping in only when asked. That kind of space has proven valuable, especially in a locker room filled with experienced veterans and rising stars alike. Still, the attention surrounding the James duo has created a mixed reaction across the league. Some believe it puts unnecessary pressure on Bronny to live up to impossible standards. Others argue that his opportunity, regardless of name, is no different from any other second-round pick fighting for minutes. Regardless of where one stands, the reality is this: Bronny is under a microscope, and every move he makes, every missed rotation or highlight dunk, will draw reaction. Inside the organization, patience and possibility. The Lakers coaching staff remains cautiously optimistic about Bronny's trajectory. His work ethic has reportedly impressed several members of the player development team, and sources close to the team say he's been one of the most engaged participants in off-season training sessions. He wants to be more than a storyline, said one Lakers assistant. He wants to compete. He knows how this all looks from the outside, But inside that gym, he's just another player trying to earn the jersey. While it's unlikely that Bronny will leap into a major rotation role early in the season, the Lakers are keeping the door open. With a long, grueling 82-game schedule and the ever-present risk of injury or fatigue, younger players who stay ready often get their shot. If Bronny continues to improve, particularly as a defender and secondary playmaker, those minutes will come. The bigger picture, what Bronny represents. Beyond the hardwood, Bronny's development holds symbolic weight, not just for the Lakers, but for the NBA at large. He represents a generational bridge, a rare glimpse at legacy evolving in real time. The Lakers, always aware of their place in basketball history, have embraced this moment carefully. They know the magnitude of LeBron's final years and what it means to develop a young James in parallel. There's pressure, yes, but there's also potential to create something the league has never seen before. And if Bronny James can turn steady development into meaningful contribution, the story might shift from LeBron's son to something more lasting. A player who earned his place, step by step, in the NBA's most storied franchise. Draymond Green names LeBron James the greatest of all time over Michael Jordan. The GOAT debate has fueled basketball conversations for years, LeBron James or Michael Jordan. While fans and analysts have gone back and forth endlessly, Warriors forward Draymond Green recently made his stance crystal clear. To him, LeBron James is the greatest to ever play the game. LeBron's career resume speaks for itself. With 4 championships across 3 different teams, more than 39,000 career points, and a unique ability to dominate every aspect of the game, scoring, passing, rebounding, and defending, he has cemented himself among the all-time elite. But for Green, it's not just about the stats. It's about who LeBron won with. MJ had Pippen, Green said bluntly. LeBron was out there winning games with Matthew Dellavedova. That guy was terrible, no disrespect. His point? Jordan always had Scottie Pippen, an all-time great in his own right, during each of his 6 title runs. LeBron, meanwhile, had to carry teams through far tougher stretches, often with far less help in key moments. That said, it's also true that LeBron didn't do it alone. In 2016, he teamed up with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love to pull off the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history. He won 2 titles in Miami alongside Hall of Famers Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. And in 2020, he captured another ring with Anthony Davis, one of the best two-way big men of his generation. So the notion that LeBron never had elite teammates is a bit of a stretch. But what separates LeBron in Green's eyes is the way he elevates everyone around him, turning role players into playoff heroes, keeping teams competitive no matter who's on the floor, and doing it all for over 2 decades at the highest level. LeBron still chasing greatness. If LeBron wants to leave no doubt in the GOAT conversation, one more title would make a big statement. A 5th championship would tie him with Kobe Bryant, and put him within striking distance of Jordan's 6. At 40 years old, LeBron is still playing at an elite level. Last season, he averaged 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists per game while shooting an impressive 51.3% from the field and 37.6% from 3. Those aren't just good numbers for a veteran, they're elite numbers for any player. Whether or not he reaches that elusive 5th title, LeBron's impact on the game is undeniable. He's redefined longevity, leadership, and what it means to be a superstar in the modern NBA. Draymond's loyalty runs deep. It's worth noting that Draymond Green and LeBron James share a close off-court friendship. Green has often publicly supported LeBron, and his comments reflect more than just basketball analysis. They come from deep respect. Still, that doesn't make his opinion any less valid. Draymond is one of the sharpest basketball minds in the league and has played against both LeBron and Jordan's legacy teams. His perspective carries weight, even if it's not universally agreed upon. One thing is certain, as long as LeBron is still lacing them up, the GOAT debate is far from over. Draymond Green declares LeBron James the greatest of all time over Michael Jordan. The debate over who deserves the title of the greatest basketball player of all time has been ongoing for decades. For many, Michael Jordan holds that crown. For others, especially in the modern era, LeBron James has taken that mantle. Recently, Golden State Warriors forward Draymond Green added his voice to the conversation, and he made his choice clear. According to Green, LeBron James is the greatest player to ever step on a basketball court. While many have echoed this sentiment before, Green's reasoning sparked renewed discussion across the league. He pointed to the level of difficulty LeBron has faced throughout his career. In particular, Green emphasized how LeBron managed to win and carry teams despite not always having elite-level help. MJ had Pippen. LeBron was out there winning games with guys like Matthew Dellavedova, Green said. That alone tells you something. While the statement was intentionally provocative, Green's core point was about context, about who each legend had beside them in the biggest moments. Jordan always had Scottie Pippen through all 6 championships, while LeBron had to lead teams with varying degrees of support. Of course, LeBron has played with stars as well, from Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love in Cleveland to Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami, and more recently, Anthony Davis in Los Angeles. But the nature of LeBron's title runs, coming back from a 3-1 deficit, leading teams through brutal playoff schedules, and sustaining elite performance for over 2 decades, adds depth to his argument for the GOAT title. LeBron's case for the throne. If LeBron is to leave no doubt in this debate, one more championship might tip the scales further in his favor. A 5th title would place him alongside legends like Kobe Bryant and bring him just one behind Jordan's 6. But even if he never wins another ring, LeBron's impact on the game is already historic. His combination of size, skill, basketball IQ, and leadership has made him one of the most complete players the sport has ever seen. His scoring ability alone would qualify him as elite, but he also ranks among the greatest passers and playmakers the league has known. And then there's his longevity. At 40, LeBron is still performing at a level few ever reach, regardless of age. Last season, he averaged 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists per game while maintaining efficient shooting percentages. He continues to lead, compete, and evolve. The debate beyond the numbers. What Draymond Green's comments highlight is that greatness isn't just about counting rings. It's about who a player is when the odds are stacked against them. It's about the total body of work, the leadership, the resilience, the consistency, and the influence. Michael Jordan dominated his era and became a global icon. LeBron James has not only dominated his era but redefined what it means to be a superstar in a constantly evolving league. Both players changed the game, just in different ways. Draymond's opinion won't settle the debate, but it adds fuel to a conversation that continues to shape how we view greatness. And as long as LeBron continues playing, the story remains open, and history is still being written. Luka Doncic could become the greatest international player ever, says NBA All-Star rival. As the Los Angeles Lakers gear up for a new season, they'll be doing so with 2 of the biggest names in basketball, LeBron James and Luka Doncic. LeBron may still be the face of the league, and arguably the greatest to ever play the game, but all eyes are now shifting toward Doncic, the 26-year-old phenom who's entering his 8th NBA season with sky-high expectations and a point to prove. Now playing his first full season in Los Angeles, Luka has already built a resume most players only dream of. A 5-time All-Star with a game that blends vision, creativity, and scoring at the highest level, Doncic is already considered one of the most dominant forces in the league. And according to one of his peers, he's not just dominating, he's on track to make history. Paul George, he might be the greatest international player ever. Philadelphia 76ers star Paul George didn't hold back when asked about Luka's trajectory during a recent conversation. While acknowledging how steep the climb is to true greatness, George was clear, Doncic is that special. We're talking about someone who could end up being the greatest international player ever, George said. That means surpassing the best to ever do it. Surpassing Dirk. Surpassing Tony Parker. Surpassing Hakeem. Even surpassing Giannis in some ways. Luka's game is just different. It's older than he is. He's tough. He's a problem. I'm a huge fan. And let's be honest, he talks that sh*T2, George added with a laugh. The respect was unmistakable. From a fellow all-star who's battled Luka on the court, the praise carries weight. The road to greatness is still long, but clear. Of course, as talented as Luka is, his journey is far from over. The list of legendary international players is deep and decorated. Names like Hakeem Olajuwon, Dirk Nowitzki, Manu Ginobili, Pau Gasol, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, Steve Nash. All of them have something Luka's still chasing: championship rings, MVP trophies, Olympic medals, the kind of accomplishments that define a career and cement a legacy. And yet, even without those accolades Luka is already in the conversation. That says something about how remarkable his rise has been. He's only 26. He's already redefined the way the point forward position is played. And now, on a team like the Lakers, built to win now and loaded with experience, the stage is set for him to chase the kind of glory that would put him shoulder to shoulder with the international greats. Luka's time is coming, it's just a matter of when. Whether or not Doncic becomes the greatest international player of all time remains to be seen. The path is steep, and history is full of giants. But what's undeniable is that he has every tool, the vision, the swagger, the work ethic, and the stage, to make it happen. And if you ask players like Paul George, it's not a matter of if, but when. Luka Doncic isn't just playing for highlights or accolades. He's playing to leave a mark on the game, a global one. And with each passing season, that goal looks less like a dream, and more like a future waiting to be claimed. A new chapter in Los Angeles. Luka Doncic's move to the Los Angeles Lakers marks a pivotal turning point in his career. After years of carrying the Dallas Mavericks, often without a true co-star, Doncic now finds himself sharing the floor with one of the greatest to ever play the game, LeBron James. While some questioned whether the pairing would work, early signs suggest mutual respect and a shared focus on one thing, winning. This isn't just a team-up for show. For Luka, it's a strategic move, one that could fast-track his path to the one thing missing from his resume, a championship ring. And for the Lakers, the addition of Doncic signals more than just a passing of the torch. It's an investment in the franchise's future, a way to remain in contention even as the LeBron era gradually winds down. International expectations and pressure. Doncic isn't just representing himself or his team. Every time he steps on the court, he carries the expectations of an entire generation of international fans who see him as their superstar. He's become the face of European basketball, and in many ways, the embodiment of what the global game has become. No longer just a young prodigy from Slovenia, Luka is now a symbol of how far international players have come, and how much farther they can still go. With each All-Star selection, each triple-double, each signature step-back three, he's redefining the standard. But that spotlight comes with pressure. For some, nothing short of a title will validate the hype. And Luka knows that. Comparisons will only intensify. The comparisons to international legends like Dirk Nowitzki and Hakeem Olajuwon are flattering, but they're also a measuring stick. Dirk won an MVP and delivered an unforgettable championship run in 2011. Hakeem earned 2 rings, 2 Finals MVPs, and a reputation as one of the most fundamentally dominant players ever. Luka has time, but not forever. As Paul George noted, overtaking those names means more than putting up big numbers. It means winning on the biggest stages. Even Giannis Antetokounmpo, the reigning face of global basketball, earned his place through a combination of elite performance and tangible success. Back-to-back MVPs. A Finals MVP. An NBA title. For Luka, the bar has been set. The question is whether he'll rise above it, and how soon. Inside the league, respect is already there. Across the NBA, Luka Doncic already commands immense respect, not just from fans, but from the very players and coaches who have to face him. Veterans talk about his court vision and patience. Young players try to mimic his footwork and creativity. Scouts and analysts marvel at how he can control the tempo of a game without ever seeming rushed. And then there's the swagger, the confidence that borders on arrogance, but is grounded in the results he delivers. Luka doesn't play the game like he's trying to prove something, one Western Conference coach said anonymously. He plays like he knows he already has. That mindset may be the X factor that ultimately separates him from other international stars. He isn't just trying to fit into the NBA, he's bending the league to his style. The legacy chase begins now. As Luka Doncic prepares for his first full season with the Lakers, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the stage couldn't be bigger. He's no longer the young sensation with potential. He's a fully formed superstar in his prime, on a team built to win. This is where narratives shift and legacies are written. The journey to becoming the greatest international player of all time won't be easy, but Luka's already taken more than a few steps in that direction. Now, with the eyes of the league and the world on him, it's up to him to finish the climb. Luka Doncic featured in NBA's first Prime Video commercial as new broadcast era begins. The 2025-26 NBA season is shaping up to be a year of big changes, both on and off the court. Perhaps the most significant shift comes from the league's new broadcasting landscape. With TNT officially stepping away, the NBA has welcomed NBC and ESPN back into its media fold. But it's the addition of Amazon Prime Video that truly marks a new era in how fans will watch the game. And fittingly, the face of that transition is one of the league's brightest stars, Luka Doncic. As Doncic prepares for his first full season with the Los Angeles Lakers, he's already making waves off the court, front and center in Prime Video's debut NBA commercial, which also features Cleveland Cavaliers star Donovan Mitchell and retired All-Star Blake Griffin. A spotlight season for Luka, on and off the court. The Lakers will appear in 7 nationally streamed games on Prime Video this season, one of the highest totals in the league. It's no surprise, given the marketability of their superstar duo. LeBron James and Luka Doncic aren't just two of the most talented players in the NBA, they're global icons, whose combined appeal transcends basketball. In the light-hearted Prime Video commercial, Doncic and Mitchell are delivered in oversized Amazon boxes to a stunned fan's doorstep, with Blake Griffin hilariously playing the role of the delivery guy. The ad playfully introduces Amazon's NBA coverage, which will complement its already popular Thursday night football broadcasts. The message is clear: this is a new chapter for the NBA, and Luka Doncic is helping lead it. More than a commercial star, a franchise cornerstone. Since arriving in Los Angeles, Luka has already become one of the most visible faces in sports marketing, signing endorsement deals, headlining global campaigns, and now, anchoring the NBA's presence on a brand new streaming platform. But fans won't have to wait long to see him do what he does best. Starting October 24th, the spotlight won't just be on Doncic in commercials. It'll be on him leading the Lakers on the hardwood, with championship hopes and the eyes of the world watching. And for Lakers fans, the excitement isn't just about the branding. It's about the belief that Luka could be the player to take them deep into the postseason again. A busy summer, on the court and in real life. Doncic's summer wasn't just filled with commercials and media appearances. He also represented Slovenia at Eurobasket 2025, where he led an underdog national team to a gutsy quarterfinals run. They knocked off a heavily favored Italian team before giving title favorite Germany all they could handle in a close and hard-fought match. Though Slovenia didn't make it to the semifinals, Doncic's leadership and performance offered a strong glimpse of what's to come this NBA season. His play, confident, unselfish and resilient, reminded the basketball world why he's not just a star, but a competitor who elevates every team he's on. For the Lakers, that matters. Especially in a year where expectations are high, but the path to a title in the competitive Western Conference is anything but easy. Doncic's recent 3-year contract extension is a clear sign of commitment, both from him and from the Lakers organization. While a championship may not be guaranteed this season, his presence alone puts the team in the conversation. And in LA, that's more than enough to energize a fanbase hungry for another deep playoff run. Putting down roots in LA. While Doncic continues to settle into his role on the court, he's also beginning to build a life off of it in Los Angeles. Recently, he made headlines for purchasing a stunning home in Manhattan Beach, a property once owned by tennis legend Maria Sharapova. It's a personal move that signals something deeper. Luka isn't just passing through Los Angeles. He's planting roots, and he's here to stay. For a franchise in search of its next era-defining superstar, that's exactly what the Lakers, and their fans, have been waiting for. Luka's arrival alters the balance in the West. Doncic's move to the Lakers hasn't just shifted headlines, it's shifted the balance of power in the Western Conference. For years, teams like Denver, Phoenix, and Golden State have dominated conversations around title contention. But with Doncic now pairing up with LeBron James in LA, there's a renewed belief that the Lakers may have both the star power and strategic depth to challenge the West's elite. Executives across the league have taken notice. Multiple front offices reportedly re-evaluated their off-season plans after the Doncic trade became official. The ripple effect has been significant. Contenders are reinforcing their rotations, fringe teams are scrambling to stay relevant, and the Western playoff picture has become more unpredictable than ever. Doncic's presence alone is enough to demand defensive game plans on a nightly basis, and that's before factoring in the attention LeBron still commands. Inside the locker room, changing of the guard? With all the external noise, there's also been quiet but growing talk inside the Lakers locker room about a symbolic transition. LeBron remains the emotional and strategic leader of the team, but those around the organization acknowledge that Doncic is beginning to take on a more central role, not just in terms of production, but in presence. He listens, but he leads too, one Lakers assistant coach said recently. He's not trying to take over the room, he's just naturally becoming the one everyone looks to when the game is on the line. For a franchise that has spent the better part of 2 decades relying on generational talent, from Kobe Bryant to LeBron James, seeing Doncic slowly step into that space feels both familiar and new. There's a sense that this season may become a subtle handoff, from one era to the next, with the Lakers' legacy continuing to evolve through another once-in-a-generation talent. Global implications. The face of the NBA's future? Beyond LA, Luka's role is expanding on a global scale. His appearances in high-profile media campaigns, like the Amazon Prime commercial, aren't just about branding. They reflect the NBA's broader push to connect with an increasingly international fanbase, one that sees Doncic not just as a Slovenian star, but as a global ambassador of the modern game. With the league aggressively expanding its presence in Europe, the Middle East and Asia, Doncic represents a perfect figurehead, multilingual, charismatic, fiercely competitive, and already respected by veterans and fans alike. And while the league continues to embrace its international identity, from Tokyo exhibitions to Paris showdowns, Luka is expected to be front and center. What's next? Pressure or opportunity? As the season approaches, expectations for Doncic are higher than ever. He's no longer a rising star, he's arrived. The margin for error will shrink. Every loss will be questioned. Every win will be measured against championship potential. But according to those closest to him, Luka isn't fazed. He's wanted this, one longtime teammate said. The pressure, the spotlight, the challenge, it's what drives him. This isn't too big for him. If anything, this is exactly where he belongs. The story of Luka Doncic in Los Angeles is just beginning. But if his early impact on the court, in the locker room, and across the global sports landscape is any indication, it's a story that could define the next era of NBA basketball.